with me, Hall of Fame trainer, champion trainer, Gary Hall Senior. And Gary, you look as though you could dominate at Gloucester Park on Friday night. 15 runners in 6 races, so you've got multiple runners in several races. So Gary, let's start off talking about the prelude of the Oaks, which is race 8. You've got 2 runners here, Fake News, who's racing beautifully, and the wonderful New Zealand-bred Balcatherine. Fake News drawn 5 and Balcatherine drawn 9. So Fake News looks as though she should be get a start in the Oaks because her recent form's been excellent.
Yeah, I think she's automatically in, Ken. She won a heat of the Oaks, so she's automatically in. Whether she's a winning chance, I don't think so. I think she's just lacks a little bit of the X factor for that sort of a race with a horse like Dracarys in it. So Belle Catherine has got the X factor. She's a very good horse. She lacks experience, and I was pretty disappointed with her last run, but Stewie said he never knocked her around when she couldn't get into it, and she was wide on the track, and they did run a fast last half, and the fast last, the last 3 quarters were pretty quick, so she was... But I still thought she was a little bit disappointing, but this week we're going to try and put her into the race, I think, and hopefully she goes a bit better.
You couldn't have been disappointed with her wonderful first up run 2 starts ago.
Yeah, I was, because Fake News was already in the race, in the Oaks, winning the Country Derby, and I was hoping that Belle Catherine would get herself in, but she didn't. So, and I can't see her, if the one is in form and well, it's going to be very hard to beat Armour Indy, so Belle Catherine needs to run a very good race.
And on Friday night, champion reinsman Gary Hall Jr. won't be competing here at Gloucester Park. He was suspended for 7 days for an infringement in driving in a minor race at Bunbury last Saturday night. So in the Oaks Prelude, Michael Ferguson continues to drive Fake News and Stewie McDonald continues to drive Balcatherine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Junior went and did something silly on Bunbury on Saturday night, and I don't know whether he realised he was driving Dracarys in the Oaks in a fortnight, but he might have been thinking about it when he was in the stewards' inquiry.
Now, Gary, we start off in race 1. You've only got 4 starters out of the 12 runners in race 1 on the program. A 21 30-metre mobile, Mr. Bushido, Michael Ferguson, Chewer's Delight, Bailey McDonough, Our Rhythm and Blues, Stuart McDonald, Rock and Roll Baby, Lauren Jones. Our Rhythm and Blues is drawn poorly at barrier 8. Stewie McDonald's the driver, but I was quite taken with his first up second last Thursday night.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's the one of the 4 that I really needed to draw the barrier, and he drew the worst, so that's just typical. He's my best winning chance. Mr. Bushido didn't run a bad race last week for Fergie, and I thought his run was quite good, and he's some chance. It's not an over-strong race, but the barrier draws are a bit difficult to figure out what's going to happen there.
You've got 2 wonderful horses in race 2 on the program. A 1730-metre sprint, Caviar Star drawn 2, and Speedman drawn 4. Bailey McDonough takes the drive with Caviar Star, and Speedman, Stewie McDonald. They're 2 very strong winning chances.
Yes, but Caviar Star faced the breeze over the short distance 2 starts ago and ran second. Can't think what beat him, but open class free for all, and this is a lot lower class than that, so you'd think he'd be a very good winning chance even in the breeze, which is probably where he's going to end up, or maybe the one might hand over. Speedman's probably 1 or 2 runs under, but he is working very well, and I still give him a winning chance.
You took him to trials at Pinjarra last Sunday.
Yeah, I need to qualify him from a stand. Because I was going down there with King of Swing, who had to go to trials to get back to racing. So, he went down there for that reason. But he's been working really good, Speedman, and Caviar Star gets caught in the breeze. Well, I suppose Speedman can take the breeze off him, and they'd both be still winning chances given that scenario.
Now you've got Ideal 1 drawn 3 and King of Swing, the Derby winner, drawn 6 in race 4. Another 1730-metre sprint. Ideal 1, he's a very promising type.
You think?
I think as a local bred, he's a promising type, and he's drawn barrier 3, but he's up against the Derby winner, drawn barrier 6. So obviously, I must suggest that King of Swing has got a commanding chance to win this race.
Yeah, I think King of Swing should be winning. I'd be disappointed if he didn't. His trial was exceptional on Sunday, and Ideal 1's been working really well, actually, and I think he's gone past the promising stage. I think he's 7 rising 8 or something. So
I think they'll run 1-2, King of Swing first, and Ideal One I think could run second.
Gee, I hope you're right, Ken. I hope you're right, but I think King of Swing's a very good winning chance there.
The Memorial Day Stakes is race 6 on the program, 25-36 metres. You'll be represented by number 4, Whose Idea Was This? And Whose Idea Was This finished 5th last week.
Yeah, he's definitely a winning chance, Ken. I don't think that he had the best of chances last week. He came out hard and thinking that the one wasn't going to begin quickly, but surprisingly enough, it began really quickly as compared to the week before, and it led. And Whose Idea Is This then had to take a sit, and I think Gary pushed him out in the backstraight with Eric Roosevelt, and that sort of pushed him out in the clear too early. And I think Whose Idea Is This faded slightly in the last little bit, but I think he'll improve, and I think this is definitely a winnable race for him.
And the stable have got 4 runners in race 7, a 21-30 metre mobile. Eric Roosevelt, drawn barrier 1, Overboard again 2, Campora 4, Tack Major 5. Eric Roosevelt, he's taken no ill effect of getting involved in a tangle in a race here on Thursday night last week.
He was a bit tender the next day, and I'm not sure why there wasn't something done in that race, but still nothing was. And he got pushed out of a position from a horse that was half a length back off him on the turn, and he locked up with the back wheel, and he was a bit tender on the near hind, but he's fine now. And drawn barrier 1, I'm thinking he should lead and probably win.
Yes, because before last Friday night his form was impeccable.
Yeah, it was. He wasn't going to win last Friday night in saying that, but he suffered severe interference, and I don't know why. And I think that he should lead and he should go very close. I think Overboard again's probably dropped straight onto his back and would be a place chance. Campora's flying at the moment. He's just going fantastic. And Tack Major was a really good run last week, so if there's a blowout, one of them could even cause it, I think.
Well, Campora has been running some great races from the front, but we all know that he's a wonderful sit sprinter, and he showed that last week.
Yeah, he's won 2 races at long prices from the rear of the field, which, to tell you the truth, it shocked me, Ken. It's just, I had to have a second take the other night just to make sure it was Campora, but he is going really well, so you'd have to say some hope if there's any sort of action in that race, and Eric Roosevelt doesn't go up to scratch, well, I'm sure he'd be a winning chance. So
15 runners, so good luck on Friday night. Before you go, Chicago Bull, he's fit and well and ready to resume?
We've had a little bit of trouble with him cross-firing. He seems to have changed his action a little bit since his injury, and I've made a few corrective changes to his shoeing, and he's working good. I don't know whether he's working any better than he ever has been, but he's working pretty good on his way up, and he'll be racing on the 3rd of May, his first start, and hopefully by then we've sorted out the problem. But he's still working pretty good, and he's definitely not sore at all. He seems sound as a bell. So we're hoping to see him back on the 3rd of May, and he'll be a bit big in condition. He's like a little roly-poly, but he'll go good from now once he's had a few runs, I'd say.
And I'm sure every trotting fan in Western Australia will be anxious to see the reappearance of the champion.
Yeah, I am too. Thanks, Ken.